Frank Nitty is in the building, man. Good to see y'all, man. Y'all know if I'm in the building, and y'all know I got my co-host in the building with me, man. We one man short tonight, man, but y'all already know, man. Want to give a big shout out to that boy Patton, but man, hey, we got that boy Killer Cal in the building. Y'all already know, man, it's 2/3 of the Texans on 3, man. We want to send a get well shout out to my boy Patton, having some throat issues, pause, with, you know what I'm saying, with the cold and the switching of the weather. Somebody had some sickness at his job and they passed it around, and got to my boy, man. He wasn't able to be on the show tonight, but we're going to do this one for you tonight, my G. So you tune in too, you know what I'm saying? And we also want to welcome everybody. If it's your first time, you know what I'm saying, enjoy yourself, man. You can drop your comments in the bull ring. We will answer your questions. As y'all already know, this is about the Texans. I didn't mean for that to rhyme, but it did. But this is about the Texans, man, and we about to get to it, man. As y'all can see, we named the show What's Cooking for the simple fact, man, that boy Nick Casario has been over there cooking, man. I'm talking about bro has really been cooking, and I'm starting to see the vision. I don't know about y'all, but I'm starting to you know what I'm saying, I'm starting to see the truth of what's actually going on. And to be honest,
you can't handle the truth.
I don't think a lot of y'all out there can actually handle the truth, man. I don't know if a lot of y'all are just casuals out there. I can understand, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, everybody has their opinion about what's been going on, but let me put you in the know of what's going on. Like, the man is building something great over there. I promise y'all, if y'all take that Patriots jacket off that man's back, like, I don't know, I'm almost getting tired of talking about it, because it's to a point where y'all don't, it's almost like y'all trying to put a stain on what and just for a few minutes I'm going to talk about another team, but what the Patriots did was historical.
Whoa.
What's going on?
Said George Foreman died.
Oh man. They appreciate that, Brandon, man. Yeah, let's give a moment of silence, man, for the great George Foreman, man. Yeah. That's saying a lot, man. You know, especially being from Fifth Ward myself, you know what I'm saying, raised up in Fifth Ward. You know, he's always been a hero to us. You know, he's to some people it's funny, you know, he's probably just been probably look at George Foreman as the grill maker or whatever, but no, he was so much more to the boxing world. I mean, he's gonna be revered for his perseverance. He was a big guy. I mean, he was one of those guys that, you know, you think that when you watching him from the outside looking in, is that I used to think George Foreman was kind of slow. I'm gonna be honest, and I'm talking about not slow mentally. I'm talking about slow in the way that he fought. But once it made me look into how he fought, and what you found out is the man had a lot of power, a lot of precision. You don't know how precise you have to be to have to, you know, to have long arms and to line up punches, to have a combo or rhythm with punches. It takes a whole lot to be able to do that, especially when you're a power puncher and a heavyweight like that. So we definitely want to give an applause. We want to give condolences to the family. And yeah, that's pretty serious right there. I don't get no serious.
Yeah, that's an H-Town legend, man. I mean, decades. You know, that Muhammad Ali and Foreman, that was way back in the 70s, early 70s.
Oh, Brandon say they actually knew him. Say they handled his finances and everything. Oh, okay, Brandon. Okay, so y'all, you know what I'm saying, in the loop. I haven't even seen it on the internet yet, and that's crazy. I just got off Twitter, so you know we getting some inside, you know what I'm saying, news right now. But like I said, man, want to give condolences to his family and stuff like that, man. That's to a great life, man, and a great man. definitely handled his business in that ring and outside that ring, man. So definitely here's to like I say, here's to a great life, a great man, and I'm pretty sure we'll start hearing a lot more about him as the days go by. The Thriller in Manila, all those good fights and stuff like that, man, just come to memory.
Right.
But back to what I was saying about the Patriots and the way that the Patriots how they did what they did, because when you think of the Patriot way, it doesn't just stop. It doesn't just go with the plays and the championships. It's the behind the scenes. It's the front office. Like the Patriots had a very unique way of running their front office. Like there was a reason. And I think it was a decision on Tom Brady. It also, but there was a reason why Tom Brady wasn't the highest paid quarterback in the league when they were making those championship runs. Like he was the best quarterback in the league by far, but not by pay. You know what I'm saying? There was quarterbacks that were way worse than Tom Brady that was like at the top of the pay charts or whatever. And if you look at the unique way that they built their team, it was built by you doing what you know how to do and just concentrate on that. We don't need you to do nothing else. We don't need you to try this or try that. We need you to do what you do and do what you do best. Like that's it. And far as what I'm seeing being built on this offensive line, and coming from having the most of the O line coaches coming from the Patriots tree or whatever. I feel like the offensive line used to be one of my favorite things about that Patriots squad back in the day. It used to keep Tom Brady so clean. It used to seem like Tom Brady never got touched. Now, of course, the ball was out fast, but it still didn't change the fact that that O line was just still. You like when you would hear the stats like, "Hey, Tom Brady hasn't been sacked this year," and you would be like, "What?" And they wouldn't even be the best O line. And the reason, and think about it, because when that O line would go other places, Cal, did you notice that they didn't perform like they performed with the Patriots? It's because the Patriots really believed in putting five guys together that complemented each other. Not one of y'all good and the other four of y'all just gotta get it how you live. You know what I'm saying? That's not how they got down. It was five, it was cohesiveness. And that's what I'm seeing that Nick is putting together with this line. I'm seeing cohesiveness. I'm loving it. I'm seeing competition. We just got Trent Brown. When I seen that signing, I'm gonna tell you what's confusing about that, Cam. How is it that Cam got 12 and Trent got 3? How you think that came about being?
Well, left tackles normally get paid more than right tackles, and Cam was, if I'm not mistaken, he was drafted in the first round.
Yeah.
So those contracts are negotiated. Thing about Cam, played in 101 games, started in 101 games. So uh, every time he played, he started. So, but as far as the contract wise, I mean they're rated. So Trent Brown, he's started in 96 of 103. But that's at right tackle. So there's enough film on him that when he go and negotiate and negotiate his contract, you get paid for what you work. Now, a lot of times guys will take less. You know, who was that? I think it was it Cam? I think Cam took less because I think the Patriots had offered him more money. I think the Patriots had offered him more money. I think I heard.
Oh, he
I was on
actually
the
took less. He took less money to come here to Houston.
right. I think I heard Barrett say that. Give him his credit. I think that's what he was saying about him. So I mean, when you have when you have this reshuffling of an offensive line, man, you got guys that's beating down the door. They're still trying to prove themselves. These guys here. Brown is 31, about to be 32. Robinson is 29. Howard is 28. Tomlinson is 33, and Ingram is 26. Those guys still got a lot of football left in them. And, if you come to a team and you are the one that went to the team that had the worst line and you protect CJ Stroud and they went on to win a Super Bowl, I mean, their price is going to go up, up and up,
Mhm.
so I like what Nick is doing, man. And if you don't like what Nick doing, you'll never like what Nick doing because he did exactly what the fans wanted him to do. Not that he's sitting back listening to, you know, them guys on 610 and 790 or whatever, but he knew that he invested so much in that offensive line, and that offensive line failed him.
It, to
So
me,
he
to me, it shows that he's it's competence. It showed it because what we talking about is from a fan's point of view is competence. Nick
right.
is showing competence. That's what I see.
And what I love about it is D'Amico made it clear. I think last year when D'Amico was in that scouting room and when the draft was over with, D'Amico was like, "Man, it's not me. I'm a coach. Now he gonna watch film and he'll give his input, but that Nick Casario and note that scouting room, that's what Nick does. So I'm glad that we don't have to have this conversation of that's a D'Amico pick and this is D'Amico's team and this is Casario pick. It's like no, D'Amico, Coach Casario, they come together. It's a cohesive unit, at the top of the managerial chain. So that's one thing I like. They look like they working good together. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, think about it, man. Casario's giving D'Amico 5-star restaurant ingredients. Now, if I'm giving you 5-star restaurant ingredients, you go and cook some Vienna sausages and ramen noodles, man, that's on you.
Mm-hmm.
That's on you. That's not on me because I'm giving you something. I'm not saying these linemen are top of the chain, but Popovich, Kaylee, they're looking at the film, and Nick have to run it by them, saying, "Hey, man, I'm thinking about bringing this guy in. What do you think?" They're gonna go back to the past scouting reports that they had at other teams. They
Mm-hmm.
still have combine interviews, pro day interviews that they interviewed these guys. They have a book on all of these guys. So they're going to go back to those past notes and say, okay, when he was coming out of college, okay, a quick feed, and one guy I think he got into some trouble, but after it was cleared, and he's back. But they have a book on all of these guys. So when they're considering bringing somebody in, before they even make the phone call, they already know, like, oh, okay, I think this guy can fit what we're trying to do. And
Mm-hmm.
what I can see is these men, they got Trent Brown listed at 6'8", 380, and Cam Robinson 6'6", 335.
Mm.
And that's your left and right tackle. Now I think it's going to be an open competition. I don't know where Titus is going to play at as far as is he going to go back to tackle? All I know is Titus got his money, and Titus always been a team player. So I think that wherever Kaylee and Popovich want him to play, I think he's going to play. But one thing that I did notice when I looked at everybody that's here, uh, Titus is the senior person in that room because you have Blake, Juice, and Jared. You
Mm-hmm.
have Titus. Titus is going into I think his sixth or seventh year. So this is going to be like, okay, Titus, this is your room. You're not the oldest, but you've been here the longest.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're going to put the culture on him and say, hey, man, Popovich, Kaylee, they're going to look at him and say, you're a first round pick. You know, make it happen, bro.
Yeah, like this your coming out party. Because what he
Hmm.
was doing was kind of I don't know because I'm not in the locker room, but I do tend to know that when you're a good team player, you tend to respect order. You tend to respect how things are lined out. And what it seemed like to me with Titus Howard is that he respected the fact that that Tunsil was who he was. um
Right,
they wanted to give him that big dog status. You know what I'm saying? They wanted to
right,
treat him like the big dog. And as you can see, because even CJ spoke on it sometime, you know, that's the vibe they kind of had with Tunsil. Like, you are that veteran. You're that veteran that we heard about when we were even in high school. That veteran that can just come into the locker room and he don't have to practice. He's so good and he got the highest paid everything that he just come in and pretty much do what he want. And I think in a locker room like what D'Amico is putting together, that could be kind of toxic. It's because you got players trying to respect the age old thing. Like, this is something players been doing for the longest. Like, when a player has that seniority, or sometimes it's not even the seniority, it's just the fact that you the tops at your fucking position, and you know what I'm saying. Like say if Stingley wanted to, which I don't see this happening with Stingley, but if Stingley wanted to act like that, they would respect it. The rest of the team would, because they'd be like, look, bro, don't put in that work, bro, this, bro, that, this and that. But you got players like Sting who still are putting in work. Like, you can even see Sting in his interview after he got that check. You can see that bro been working out. He even said that when he got the call about the contract being done, he was working out with his dad. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like what Tunsil was to that old line room, it was kind of toxic because he wasn't showing like, hey, y'all, we finna come together and we gonna work and we gonna do our thing. I think most of if there were O-line dinners, and I guarantee you if they was doing dinners, lunches, or just meetings, period, there was a lot of the times that Tunsil wouldn't be there. He'd probably just be there through FaceTime or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody FaceTime him and he but not there in person. I believe that, like, piggybacking off of what you're saying, Cal, that if Titus is given the reins, right, I think it makes for a different different O-line room, because now you got an O-line room full of workers. You got an O-line room where all 5 pieces will be there, like, into it, invested. You know what I'm saying? And that's gonna make it totally different. And like what Patton said brought up something, like he's created, competition at every position on that line. And that's what it means. Like basically what people have been saying is like, what it's time for the O line to get to swarming like the rest of the team. If you look at how the team is based on that whole swarm, that whole work ethic, and that fucking the relentless mindset, the whole thing of what swarm stands for, I think they adding that to the O-line room now. The O-line room is gonna be about, hey, we're gonna go on the field, we're finna smash some dudes. They're gonna be just as amped up as the D-line. And I think that that's the only part of the team, and it's crazy. That's the only part of the team that wasn't swarming. When you really look at it, the O-line was our Achilles heel. We all knew it as fans. The front office knew it as the front office. And I think I'm so glad that they making a change. And I know I see people, like, I've learned so much about O-line play this last couple of weeks that it's been ridiculous. I've actually learned that, having a PFF grade real high for an offensive lineman, like they said last year, the Arizona Cardinals had one of the best offensive lines. But what did it do for them? You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of these teams where these offensive lines, and I'm even drawing back to the Kansas City Chiefs just a couple of years ago when they had to recycle. Remember after that Super Bowl where Mahomes just got the shit kicked out of them.
Right.
They had to bring in different pieces to the O-line, and it seemed like for a couple of years, even in their winning, they were still trying to fix that O-line. So that O-line, like, it's a serious thing, but you can scheme around it. You definitely can scheme around it, and I just think we're getting way better, man, with all these guys that's coming in. It's different from the guys that we had here. And it's like, if you seen what we had last year, you cannot be disappointed in not one of these linemen that we picked up. If you that upset, then you might as well have campaigned that we just keep the same old line that we had. Shaq Mason, Kenyon Green, all that. Just keep them. You know what I'm saying? And none of us wanted to do that. Brandon says if Trent Brown can't keep up he could probably still be really useful subbing in on 1 or 2 yard pushes or plugging up on kick attempts. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like somebody, this is going to turn out to be a good old line. I'm telling y'all, it's definitely going to be better than last year. When you the bottom of the bottom, you can't get no worse. It's only up from there. So Brandon also says Trent Brown is the only one they can substitute in who is bigger than T'Vondre Sweat. hey, shout out Sarge, man. Sarge say keep up the good work, fellas. Most definitely. Most definitely. Shout out to Big Sarge Media. And what you say, right? He say Will's prize was 88 million, Trent Brown's was less than 3. Yeah, and it's like I don't recall, wasn't Fries just on the Colts? He was on the Colts, right? Right?
Think so. I think so.
Yeah, I don't recall him just being this great offensive lineman. I don't understand how he got that 88 million, but hey, more power to his family and more blessings to him. But yeah, I just think that we finna have a lunch pail. Dare I say it, lunch pail offensive line where you're gonna see 5 guys coming to work with that lunch pail and they're gonna be getting to it, they're gonna get after it. And like that competition is key. That competition, when you just make guys think like they good and they got their spot, like if Tunzel, and see Tunzel been knowing this since we got him. Actually, when O'Brien traded for him, it was actually a stupid trade. And I'm gonna tell y'all why it was a stupid trade. It wasn't stupid because of the fact of the player that we traded. It was the picks that we traded. It was the fact that Tunsil had the Texans by the balls. Since day one, he knew that they were gonna have to. He knew that they had gave up 2 first-round draft picks for him, so they were gonna. When you trade a player and you got to give him a contract, he knew that the Texans was gonna give him a contract. And he had him by the balls then, and that's how he ended up being the highest paid left tackle in the game. And then a few more years later, he stuck us up again. You know what I'm saying? And he was gonna do it again. And it wasn't like he was one of these hardworking guys that was like, hey, you know what? The beginning of the season, I'm coming in, training camp, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I ain't even going home. I'm bunking with the boys. As a matter of fact, since I'm the biggest paid around here, I'm gonna get some rooms. Well, I'm gonna rent out the top floor of the Hilton where we got 5 rooms next to each other, and bro, we finna eat, sleep, and everything. You know what I'm saying? He didn't take that kind of responsibility. When you the big guy on campus, you the big guy in the locker room, you supposed to galvanize. If he's not a galvanizer, then he's just gonna tear everything down. I'm telling y'all. It's just a lot of times that Laramie just was not a team player because of how, and he accepted with those guys the praise they put on him. Hey, are you big dog? We see why you ain't in practice. See, really, somebody like him was supposed to be like, nah, I'm gonna be at practice. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna show these guys because he don't. I'm pretty sure D'Amico told him, you show up. This what makes people stand up, man. This what gets guys going. Just seeing you bought in. And by him not being there most of the time, like how we seen him, it just wasn't a good thing, man. And I'm crumped now because I know at least now we about to have some real serious run blocking. I've been watching Cam and some run fits and stuff like that. And bro, I'm gonna tell you this, bro is quick off the ball. That's one thing that a running back loves to see. That first step of that lineman actually moves people, because ain't that what we've been talking about? We want to see the O-line move people. We don't want to see them move them 5-10 yards back, but we do want to see them get pushed 2-3 yards off the ball. That's what Cam Robinson brings to the table. It's a lot of different things that I've been watching with the other O-linemen too that we brought in. I even, like I say, I found myself watching Trent Brown holidays. I mean Trent Brown highlights. I mean, I'm sorry, y'all. Yeah, I've been watching his highlights and all of this, and it's crazy because I'm like, yo, I'm watching O-line highlights and enjoying them. You know what I'm saying?
I've always done that. Like I watched the game when I watch the game, I always watch it as a fan, and I go back
What's
and
happening, Larry?
I watch a lot of the position battles, and it's always going to be in the trenches. But shout out to man, that boy Brandon always bring it, man. Shout out to Brandon Lackville. Trent Brown coming off of a knee injury. Yep, that is true. It is a proven deal. Larry Payton, he always walk in. I appreciate you, man. Uh,
Brandon
Corey
said
Barrett
we.
using my government name.
Oh yeah, man. Shout out that
What's
boy
that?
Barry, man. The doctor, the doctor.
That boy using my
Larry Payton
government
say
name. Yeah,
Texas
he's finna
fans
be
are tripping
strict.
and forget what
Uh,
man LT play look like. Now, let me tell you this though, Larry. I totally understand and remember and see. That's one thing I could say about like to give Patton. I mean, not Patton, golly, Tunsil his props. Tunsil, he was one of those type of like set it and forget it type of offensive lineman though. You know, you it's I mean, except when he was getting called for fucking false starts, but other than that though, he would make people like I've seen him make Myles Garrett in his career. I think he's played Myles Garrett maybe 3 or 4 times since he's been here in Houston, and every time he just practically made dude disappear. I mean, you wouldn't even you would
I mean,
forget
let's
that
get something
Myles.
straight. I right. Hey, you. I don't know if it's me or you, but you keep getting caught up in a blender. It's been
Oh
that for about a good 3 or 5 minutes. You coming in and out. Um,
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It sounded. I mean, my what's the name looks good over here. All of my because
yeah.
normally when if I got bad service, it'll show
Uh,
me up here.
if if anybody can see if it's me, if it's him, I'm not sure, but I keep hearing in the blender. Bear said Trent actually had a patella tendon injury. That's why we got him so cheap. That's true. I looked at some of that Cincinnati film, man, and going from a zone blocking scheme to a power scheme. I appreciate that, man. He said he hit
Appreciate it.
both of us. I don't know if that's me then. Uh, but going to a power run scheme, like Joe Mixon gotta love this.
Appreciate that,
Uh,
Niche.
Joe Mixon gotta love this. This is Popovich and Kaylee. They have a blank canvas, and they have some guys that got a lot of experience. Uh, he says my earphones.
Yeah,
Mm.
sometimes your headphones, like if they wireless or something, we'll do some funky stuff sometimes. That's why I'm
Oh, okay.
that's why I'm wired like a mug. I got some blank ones, but I got some wireless joints, but they do that what I'm saying right there.
I need to get some more, man.
Hold on, what Brandon
Mm.
say?
Thanks,
Bengals
yeah.
drafted Amarius Mims to switch away from Trent Brown. Was Amarius Mims good? I don't know. I have no idea. Barry say damn niche on YouTube. But what you were saying though, Cal, about watching the stuff, like watching the
I was watching some of the film. I started to look at Trent, and they're going to go to like a power blocking scheme. And I mean, Kaylee and Popovich got some guys that, you know, I mean, they was kind of under heralded at other places, and you know, I can't remember which one of them had one Pro Bowl one year. I think in 2021. Can't remember who it was. Somewhere on my notes. But when you have a room that has those veterans, 32, 29, you know, 26, and Titus 28, it's a veteran room. So when you have voluntary minicamp, all those guys are going to show up. And I after this show, man, I really want to put that Laramie Tunsil shit to bed because I'm really tired of talking about him. I'm
mm-hmm.
tired of hearing about what he did do, what he didn't do. I'm tired of hearing about his shoes. I'm tired of hearing about the way he dressed. Look, man, he gone. He out of here. So
He gone.
I'm I'm just ready to move on from that, man. And I hope that Titus and Popovich, whoever he assigned to be the leader of that room, that they can just galvanize, come together, and be a cohesive unit, and then just watch these boys play some bully ball, man. Like the one thing people got to realize as an offensive lineman, man, you just can't. And I don't care if you are 6'8", 3", whatever. It's still hard to take another man and move him against his will because technique can always offset a person's size.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't have to go head up with you. If I shoot down in the gap, I do a spin move. I'm just not going to let you get your hands on me. But as a lineman, if I can give my quarterback 2.3 to 2.9 seconds on passing downs, that's a successful play.
Yep.
If I hike the ball and interior pressure is coming in and they're getting mixed up on just basic like the things that they was getting mixed up on like crossings and stunts and interior stuff, man. Once they saw that film against Minnesota, it was a wrap. The Texans never corrected that, and every team looked at the film and say, "We just bring the pressure up the middle, and we're going to do everything that we need to do to disrupt them." It ain't like CJ had a real uh, trick rated out as the 12th best tackle in 2023. That's good to know. It
Mm-hmm. It
ain't
is.
like that. Yeah, it's just not like that. You know that like the basic part of blocking is just to take care of the man in front of you. That is real basic. And you got to be able to pick up stunts, blitz, delayed blitz, crossing patterns. Like you got to be able to pick up all of that. And it seemed like you had at least two or three pros on that line that couldn't pick up basic blocking. You know what that? You know who I blame that more on? The
Who?
coaching. It's the
Yeah,
coaching.
it's definitely the coaching. And like I say, order is respected all across the board. And I think that Popovich, being the assistant, sat there on the sideline and watched that incompetence and could not say anything. He had to do
Mhm.
what the coach told him to do. I just don't see where, like, I guess I would be one to lose my job because I'm gonna
Now, you,
stand up and I'm gonna say at least say this. I'm not gonna do nothing, but I'm gonna stand up and say that this cannot keep happening, y'all. Teams
let's
literally
see.
have our number when it just comes to these running these twists and these and all that. They just got us. Like it's too easy out there. What can we do to stop this? And it was like literally nothing that them guys can do. How do you end up in a situation
Mhm.
like that? Because you played football, you've been on that field. How do you get to the point where it looked like they was just like, look, this is just what we are. We're not gonna be able to pick up these stunts, and we got to just go out there anyway. Like, how do you get to that point as $1 million franchise?
Let me tell you something. The reason why Popovich still have his job is because there are linemen that was in that room. The exit interviews when they was like we had people that was saying get rid of the whole offensive line, which I thought was like ridiculous. But when you look at it now, look like Nick Casario said, "Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of damn near everybody." I
Mm-hmm.
mean, Patterson and Juice, they were new. Like those are Nick picks, and they wasn't the biggest culprit of being an unsuccessful line. Like they had their moments, but those are guys that you really wasn't depending on as the leaders of the line. But when and people was like, get rid of everybody in that offensive line side of the room, get rid of all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I was against that because I know that when you are second in command, the number one thing you don't want to do is put a stain on your name as being insubordinate to
And
a
not respecting
coordinator.
the order of things. Yeah, not respecting the order.
Man, that will hurt you, and you'll be a position coach for the rest of your life because it's going to carry that. Man, Cole Popovich tried to take over the Texas offensive line room, and he did it the right way to keep his job because the linemen came back and told Casario and D'Amico, like, hey, man, there's some things that, Pop wanted to do. And Man, they wasn't trying to hear that shit. Slowick and I can't think of the line coach that came from
Strausser,
Indianapolis. I blanked out on names, but
Strausser, Strausser.
Strausser, yeah.
Yeah,
From what I understand, Strausser was supposed to get fired in the middle of the year, but the Texans don't do that. But they brought him back because there were linemen in that room that was saying like, man, the way that we're blocking this shit, this is not working, and this is what Pop want to do, but Strauss is not trying to hit it. So that's why he was able to keep his job. So I think that Strauss and Kaylee, once they get the basic part of the blocking in order, and that's just like Bill Belichick said something. I know people say, "Oh, we're going back to the Patriot way." I think, not I think, but I seen Sword said we the Patriots out. Hey man, if we can get 6 or 7 Super Bowl rings out of this, I could be the
exactly.
Patriots. I can be the Patriots north, south, east,
With a
west,
whole lot of hate.
northeast.
Because I tell people
Hey,
all the time,
I
you
take it
good
all, bro.
when people start hating on your team and your whole franchise and start picking you apart and all this, and like it's funny the way that happens. Now I do understand the grounds of what people are saying but to me that adds more to the Patriot way because people who left the Patriots did not find success trying to go apply those same rules in other organizations. Other organizations are not running things like how the Patriots are. The Patriots, I'm not gonna lie, they the way that their fans, because see, you have to have the fans conditioned to what it is that you like to do as a team. I'm telling y'all, and I think I said this on the show way back, but when a team in its fan base learns to communicate with each other, that shit lasts for years. I'm talking about, if the team been in existence for 50 years, the team will some kind of way always construct that team to be something that the fans recognize. Something that because who are they selling the tickets to? The fans. Who they selling? The fans of what? Their organization. So you have to know, like if y'all know, right? The Houston Texans, it's not by accident that we're gonna always have a dominant wide receiver. We're gonna always have that. Why? Because we've had Andre Johnson. See, once you get that engraved in people's mind that, oh, okay, we had Andre Johnson, then we had to replace Andre, and we replaced Andre with DeAndre. You get what I'm saying? DeAndre came in, went light side. We was all wondering who was gonna be that next great wide receiver. Ended up being Nico Collins. Like, we're gonna always, as long as you're a Texans fan and you're breathing, you're gonna always see the Texans with a top-notch wide receiver. It's because that's what the fans are used to. That you're also gonna see a defensive line. We're gonna always have a defensive line that goes all the way back to even before Mario Williams. But that defensive line, see, once you get that great player, you gotta always replace them. You know what I'm saying? It's just what happens. Ever since we got J-Joe, we got to have a top corner. You get what I'm saying? That's just what the fans are looking for. This is what we're going to relate to. I hope a lot of y'all will understand what I'm saying. So it's like with the Patriots, right? The fans understood the Patriot way. They understood that, hey, man, we not gonna be looking for the super splashiest players in the free agency. If y'all ever paid attention to the Patriots, they wasn't signing a big dog off of what's the name. Normally, if they built up a big dog on their team, they was letting that big dog go most of the time with the Patriots. If y'all recognize it,
the Patriots the Patriots will let a guy go like. Man, they'll let a guy go like a year earlier than everybody expected. Like, I'm talking about Ty
exactly.
Law, Willie McGinnis, the defensive nose guard that we got. Like, I mean,
even the
he
other
would
guy,
let
who
him
was the
go.
wide receiver number 84? Who was that at that time where they actually let him go and he ended up coming back? He
Man, I
won some
can't
Super
think,
Bowls
man.
with him. Damn, it's not. This was during the time when Troy Brown was on the team, but Troy was a cornerback and would come in as. This was the number 84. Man, him and Tom Brady was like this. I cannot think his name, bro.
I
I
can't
think
think
he
of his
went
name
to.
either.
I think he went to Seattle. And then he came back to the Patriots. But when he wanted to go make his money, they let him go. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is.
Somebody say Deion Branch. Derek
That's who it
Green said
is.
Deion
That's
Branch.
exactly who it is. Deion Branch. Appreciate that, Derek Green.
But hey, check this out. This is why, like, when you say the Patriots, so there's a statistic out there, and what I'm about to say is not going to be totally accurate, but it was something to the sort that Bill Belichick and the Patriots having drafted, since when Bill Belichick was there, having drafted a Pro Bowler since it was like 2012. It was some ridiculous time, elapsed that all the draft picks that he drafted wasn't a Pro Bowler. Now, Bill Belichick was very, notorious for picking these guys from these small colleges that nobody heard of, and he would trade back, and people thought that Bill Belichick was this, this genius of some sort. Well, I'm gonna tell you why the Patriot way and the Caserio way is totally different. Do you know that every draft pick that Nick Caserio have drafted have came from a Power Five conference instead of exception of Tank Dell? And Tank Dell was at U of H, and I think they was part of the AAC, but they moved to the Big 12. So every draft pick that Nick Caserio drafted was from a Power Five school, and most of them played 3 years, and they was team captains.
Mm-hmm.
So that Nick Caserio go big game hunting.
Exactly.
Bill Belichick, when people say Dick try to be the smartest in the room, Nick saying, I'm going to these big schools and these combines. I'm seeing who was the captain, who played the most ball, who was injured the least, and those are the ones that I want. Look at everybody that he drafted. And the New England Patriots didn't even draft that way. So when I hear that, I'm like, okay, I see what you're saying, but the leader of the team is D'Amico Ryans. And D'Amico was a leader and a team captain as a rookie with the Texans. He left and went to Philadelphia and was pretty good over there, and he went to San Francisco. So he had 3 different cultures that he was a part of. Why can't this be a D'Amico Ryans type of identity?
Yeah, because that's what I see. I see a perfect amalgamation of what D'Amico is and what because just listening to you talk, right? It's what you basically saying is Caserio comes from that tree, right? But he does it his own way. Because that's not how they were drafting over there with the Patriots. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't drafting like that. So what you see Nick doing is his own spin on things. He's not just coming over here saying, hey, this is going to be. And I remember him actually saying that. They were like, hey, this is not going to be Patriots South, because there was so much of that stuff heaped on us from the Bill O'Brien era that when he came in, it was like it was almost one of the first things that he had to lay out. He had to almost say like, yo, I'm not coming over here with this. I'm going to do this my way. And he's been proving that. And like you say, him with D'Amico together has been like a match in heaven. Like I remember people was, and I'm talking about it was stupidly, people were trying to say that they weren't getting along. And I'm like, what? People were saying that even when I remember when they hugged in the draft room, people was like, oh, that didn't even seem like that was real. I was like, okay, now y'all tripping now. These guys are actually putting together something over there, and it's starting to shape up. And I'm just glad. I'm so glad that it's done leaked into the O-line room, because now we have that whole culture out of here now. And what I mean by that, I mean that Bill O'Brien, that B.O.B., that B.O.B.S., it's out of here. You know what I'm saying? It's out of here now. And it's like the last little remnants of it is out of here. Right. I think now the whole team is swarmed now. I think you get that O-line full of dogs now, real dogs, not just LT sitting up there saying, dog. Oh yeah, he's a dog. No. you finna have real competition, real hogs, real big boys up there, man. That look, when you that big, like who was that just said a few minutes ago? They said, hold on. They said something about the size of the boy. Yeah, shout out DQ. He say, salute. He say, Trent Brown, a dog, 6'8", 360 pounds. Hey, when you that big, all you need to do is get in the way of a nigga. That's it. Just get in the way, my brother. That's it. Like, hey, just get in the way. And CJ gonna take care of his business and do what he gotta do. I think CJ has a super great year next year. I don't want to put the MVP thing on him yet, even though that's what my hopes are. My hopes are MVP, but sometimes, bro, you don't have to be an MVP. See, most of the time when you find your player being an MVP, you find yourself being like the Ravens, right? Where you win a lot of seasonal games. You may win a playoff game or two, but you don't live up to your fullest capability. Jalen Hurts was not looked at as being an MVP, but bro was a dog all season, especially in the playoffs and in the Super Bowl. He was a dog. That's what we need. Shit, fuck all that MVP stuff. Give me some championships. Give me that camaraderie where your team just loves you and loves the fact that you'll put them on their back. I think the fact of what CJ did at the end of the year. See, a lot of people haven't really spoke on this, but I do believe that what CJ did at the end of the year of last year, like the last 2 games of the regular season and in the playoffs, him actually taking the ball, running, you know what I'm saying? I think that's we seeing a new CJ. Because to me, I don't know about y'all. When he did that, I remember it was I think it was in the Chargers game, if I'm not mistaken. But when he got up, and I love the fact that he waited till he was by the player too. That's my favorite part of this clip. But he does the run, right? And he gets up and he sees that it's a couple of Chargers walking by him. He let them walk by him, and once they walk by him, he goes like, yeah, he go to flexing and stuff, right? And I think that was good consciousness because, you know, they call you for taunting and all that old kind of stuff. So, but other than that, though, I think that was CJ at that moment. What we're going to recall those moments being in the future is CJ that was when he put the team on his back. That's when he became the CJ that we're going to know and love from this point forward. It's like before that, we had CJ that was good, had all the talent in the world. We seen what he did in his rookie season. We seen how he was having a little ups and downs during the season last year. But at those last games, though, you seen him. I'm talking about even in the Chiefs game where he ran into the player and he gave him a little shoulder. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing I love about CJ. See, CJ understood that after that game, he was beat the hell up. He was beat up, bro. And if you notice, he had to go and say, hey, I'm going to have to do some little working out this offseason, get the body right, you know what I'm saying, to be able to take some of those hits. We're going to see a bigger CJ this year, man. I'm telling y'all, pause, but we're going to see.
Hey. No, I didn't mean to cut you off, man.
No, go ahead.
Being the interactive show that we are, man, we have to.
I wanted to go to some of these.
Let's read some of these comments, man. I'm
gonna bagged up a little bit, so I'm gonna start back. From where I'm gonna go to Brandon, where he said right here. He said Texas had a HB 1-versus-1, 1-versus-1 and a D tackle up the middle in week 2 versus the Bear, and the teams saw that. Barry says it's all opinions, bro. You've been watching him since 2019 when he left. Good signing for us. Speaking of Trent Brown, that is. He says, Brandon, at week 2, I was like, our O-line is not it. I was saying it the whole time. Yeah, DQ, I seen that too, man. I think it was around the Minnesota game for me. When I was in the hospital with my wife, and I seen that game, and it kind of like it took the wind out of my sails a little bit. I was like, damn, like how are we gonna find success with an O-line like this? And it was already too late because once it starts, it's pretty much how it's gonna be. Shout out to Larry Payton. He said, agree, Brown is a good signing for a vet. I just don't see him being what fans think. Well, Larry, look, all we need is that brother to get in the way. When you that big, man, just lay sideways. This ain't Mixon knows Trent Brown too. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. That's who I've been seeing being excited on the he does it in this cryptic way, but Joe Mixon, I think he's loving all these old linemen that we've been signing. And that's what I go by. I go by the players. Like us as spectators, we not on that field. But when you got a running back saying, hey, expressing himself about how he feel about these signings, you gotta love it. He said Texas fans have bought into the swarm, so I'm critically observing O-line realignment. Yeah, Larry, this is about to be a swarming O-line. I'm telling you, we about to see that locking step. What did he say? Yeah, Corey say, yeah, he just dealt. This was Green talking about Deion Branch. I appreciate that when I couldn't figure out what his name was. Dr. Barrett says, but he could get coached up by the guys who made him great and get back active. See, that's what's dope. Now, I ain't gonna lie. That's what I'm seeing, and that's what I'm loving about the situation, is that these are front office coaches. These are coaches and assistant coaches who already know Trent, and they are going to get their guys. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, of course, room's going to look different because they getting guys that we ain't normally seen. Larry say needed with the SAT words. Hey, I'm trying, man. I'm trying. But other than that, though, man, like I say, man, we appreciate y'all always coming in the bull ring. Any other questions that y'all want to bring? I think we have about another 10 minutes before we gonna get up out of here. Hey, we got that boy Leo in the building, man. Hey, what's up, my guy? Texas 22 in the building, most definitely, man. Hey, we look forward, man, to getting back with y'all too about that draft specials and stuff like that. We got a few things set up, but we definitely want to get it in with you guys. I think on our first night we got things open. We haven't really just locked everything in yet, but I know we spoke with y'all, so we definitely looking forward to doing that. But like I said, man, over and all, y'all, like I said, the name of the show is
man, it's somebody missing from the chat, man. That dude is always interactive, man.
Who is it? Because I know whenever I don't see Brandon, I'll be like, hey,
Brandon is like, hey, shout out to Brandon, shout out to Larry Barrett. But you gotta know that there's one guy that's missing.
Hold on.
And he normally come in early, man. Come on now.
Am I Willie?
Nah. He's a weekly participant.
Oh man.
Come with the jokes and everything.
Forgive me. Oh, hold on. I know exactly who you're talking about. As a matter of fact, him and Trent Brown look alike for some strange fucking reason. I seen a picture of Trent Brown, bro, and I promise.
Who are you talking about? Who are you talking about?
This dude in it. You talking about AD?
AD, what? Shout out to my boy AD.
Hey,
what the hell you at, AD?
I saw a picture of Trent Brown and I said, hold on, this guy looks mad familiar. Like, who is this? And that's who it was, bro. It was AD, and I started to tag AD in the post. Started to say, like, golly, I ain't know you got signed.
Brandon say, was supposed to be the draft episode.
Oh, yeah, this was supposed to be. And look, and I'm glad you holding our toes to the fire, Brandon. You got to get at your boy Patton on that, man. You know what I'm saying? Patton, he got sick at work today, and it kind of took his voice away, so we wasn't able to come in. Because y'all already know that once we got him in the building, then that's when he turns into draft guard activated. And so so next week we will have our draft coverage coming in on Tuesday. It's gonna be dope, man. I can't wait to this draft. Seeing what Nick is doing in the off season, man, and it's starting to become like an occurrence. What he does in the off season makes you so excited to see what the draft is gonna be, because now it's kind of like, it's like at first, we thought that, okay, go in 2 old linemen, get a wide receiver, get a running back, and maybe get a linebacker. Like we were looking at it kind of like that. And I don't know, you have to be looking at this differently now. You have to be like, okay, they done brought in certain. Now it's like we don't have to use these draft picks towards. Now I do see us picking one. Let me make a what they call that. Let me make a prediction. I predict that we are going to draft one of the most dominant offensive linemen in the draft. I guarantee you that. That's on Nick's plate. He's gonna bring in one of the most dominant ones. It might not if put it like this, if it's 5 offensive linemen that's dominant in this draft, one of those 5s is gonna be a Houston Texan, I guarantee you. And that's what's going to literally cornerstone the offensive line. That's gonna cornerstone it. I'm telling you. If it's that guy that they talking about from Texas, the one that's got like the 89 grade in pass protection and probably 88 in run, like dude is a beast, bro. Dude is a beast. And I'm not seeing him is looked at as going in the top 10, even though he got like top 10 talent. If he dropped down to the Texans, y'all, it's over with. I promise you it is over with. And see, I believe that one dominant offensive lineman, you're going to be able to start him immediately because you're going to put him around a whole lot of vets. So then it becomes who you're going to put at these different positions. This is what makes for good competition, y'all. This is what makes for good competition at every position. Like Patton was saying, you're going to have left tackles probably going to be trying to get in at some of the guard positions. Like, it's going to be crazy, man. It's going to be crazy. And I believe that one offensive line pick is going to be the thing to help line that line up and make that line what it's going to be. But man, I'm excited about it, bro. If it's anything, Cal, that you want to bring before we get ready.
Let me just say this. That boy Brandon be on it. Brandon said, "Was this supposed to be a draft episode?" Hey, that boy remember everything.
No,
man.
I love it. That's why I said, man, I really appreciate him holding our toes to the
fire. Yeah. Larry Payton said, "Killer dropping bombs." I appreciate that. Pagden, get healthy, man. You know, need your voice back in here. Bear said, "Drive by space with Cal." He the one gave me that little moniker, "Drive by space with a killer." Killer drive by. Like, come on,
drive by. I might have to make you one of them. Make that for one of my buttons over here.
Oh, that'll be great, man. That'll be dope, man. But you know what? Let me say this, man. I think the most glaring deficiency that we have is that wide receiver room, because there's only 2 wide receivers that we know that we can depend on.
Good point.
Let me tell you something, man. It wouldn't surprise me if they went in the first round. If Nick moves up, moves back, but you know, when you have Ibuka, if you have Burden, you got Golden. I like Golden. I like Matthew Golden.
How did we get Golden though, when he's looked at like one of the top prospect wide receivers in the draft?
But I've seen him go as high as 14, and I see him go as low as to us. So I think that it's going to be. Yeah, let me tell you something, man. This is what I think. I think that Caserio, that defense is pretty much almost completely set. D'Amico probably want, I would say probably a late round corner and probably a defensive tackle. You know, that's what he'll want on defense. I think that it wouldn't surprise me if the first pick is wide receiver. Man, I'm telling you, that second pick, AD is not in here, but he turned me on to Harold Fanning Jr., tight end from Boise. I would love to have him here. That third pick, I wouldn't mind you going back to wide receiver. And if you went back to wide receiver, I like now I don't know if they got him, third round, but Savion Williams. I like his size and his speed. 6'5", 225, ran a 4.48. You know. And then that fourth pick, I think they might go defense again, but it wouldn't surprise me. I'm gonna put it out here. This is one of these random thoughts. The Texans going to go offense the first 4 picks. I mean, that offensive wide receiver room is Nico Collins, and you have the wide receiver that we just got from Jacksonville. I can't think of his name right now. Help me
Christian
out.
Kirk.
Kurt. Those are the only 2 people that you can say that I can go into any game as a Texan fan and say I can depend on them. Everybody else in that room are just guys.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they stats show it. I mean, maybe they can, come into a new scheme, but you can't depend on the what ifs. CJ don't have time to wait for the what ifs. It has to be the now. It has to be the definite. That defense was a Super Bowl contending defense.
Last
And
year.
you get CJ Gardner as a safety, you're gonna get Petrie back. Like, are you
It's
serious,
ridiculous.
bro?
I'm not gonna lie.
You're gonna get Christian Harris back. You had Toa got some good minutes. So your linebacking core is good. Your secondary is good.
Is it safe to say this camp best defense we ever had?
Shit, that's to me, yeah.
Yeah,
On paper right now,
yeah.
Because I haven't seen two edge rushers, like we have right now. Now I know we had
almost
Clowney
did. No, for that first game, remember that first game? Oh my God, we almost did. For one play, we almost had it. And yeah,
think about your cornerbacks, man. You got Locksmith and Stingley. Stingley is an All-Pro, and we think that Locksmith gonna take the next step.
Yeah.
The one thing I like about Kalen Bullock, I think I read somewhere that he played single high more than any safety or any rookie safety in the league last year. That tells me that D'Amico, like, he threw him out there in the water and say, "Hey, man, I'm finna drop you in." The swimming pool is you got the 10-foot, 6 foot, 4 feet. Nah, I'm not gonna get you in the 4 feet and tell you to swim. I'm finna drop you in 10-foot water, learn how to swim, and that's what happened.
Yep.
And he had to learn how to swim. Now you got CJ, and if you look at a lot of CJ's Gardner's film, CJ was playing high safety also.
Bro, see, a lot of people don't know that. I peeped that also, bro. That's scary, bro, because now you're going to be able to interchange these guys. You won't know.
On, man.
Oh, my goodness. D'Amico finna have a time with this defense, bro. It's about to be crazy. Man. Crazy hours
in Houston. Like
a real true no-fly. We about to see it, y'all. We really about to see it because this is what's beautiful, right? All of those guys in the secondary. Dare I say it, all of them. And I've never seen this on the defense. And I've been watching football for a long time. I've never seen that many ball hawks in the secondary. Yeah. I've never seen it to where everybody is a ball hawk in their own right. Everybody is. You know what I'm saying? Even to Petrie, bro. You know what I'm saying? We know that Petrie had those 5 interceptions when he was, and we seen what he did last year, even though I was at the game when I was at the game when I was at the game when last year when Daniel Jones threw the pick 6 to Petrie. He was lining up. He was in line to have a good season, you know what I'm saying, as far as ball hawking. You see the position that even Murray was put in. Oh Lord. I want to say this real quick, then we're gonna get back to what you were saying, Cal. Isn't it crazy that the Jaguars are using Houston Texans highlights to promote Murray? That is crazy right there, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
God bless him, man.
Oh my God, and people is letting them have it in the comment section of that post too. I'm like, oh my God. And they say one of the Jaguars fans had the nerve to say that because somebody said y'all signed one of our worst DBs and y'all actually bragging about it. And somebody said, well, y'all signed one of our worst DBs too. And I'm trying to figure it out because I'm thinking that they going all the way back to Cox. You remember when we signed Cox? Oh, what was that? Who was number 22 that we signed from the Jaguars? Remember number 22 that fucked the game for us when we played the Saints? when Deshaun threw that last minute touchdown to Kenny Stills? Somebody gonna say it. Look, somebody in the bull ring. Who was number 22 from the Jaguars that we signed when we had I think we had Romeo Cornell as there it is, Larry Payton, my guy. I knew something. See, look, I'm telling you, the bull ring never failed. Aaron Colvin, bro. You remember motherfucker? Look, that's who I thought that they were talking about when they said, yeah, y'all signed when I was, but come to find out, this is who they were talking about. Shout out Brandon. They were talking about Darby because we signed Darby or whatnot. But Darby went to the Buccaneers and had a pretty nice little showing out there. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. When I look at Darby and all of them, hey, y'all are going to keep the bench warm. Y'all going to be ST guys, meaning special teams. Long as I just hope that our starting five in that secondary stay healthy. But other than that, though, man, we got one of the best. We got one of the best defenses that I've ever seen in the Texans uniform. I've never seen it that good. I'm talking about this goes even to some of the best defenses that we had, because in my mind, the only other defense I would say that comes in second to this defense, and that's when we had first guy J. Joe, and we had Manning, and we still had Cushing. We had D'Amico. I forgot who the other linebacker was, but I think we had just got JJ, and we still had Mario at the time. Because didn't we have Mario and JJ at one point in time when they was never on the same team? We had already got rid of Mario by the time we got JJ.
Yeah, I think Mario was gone.
So when we first got JJ, who was the other lineman? Because there was somebody who was already here. Because I told you I've been watching a whole lot of old Texans games, and
Larry Payton should know.
Oh, he said 2011. Yeah, that 2011 defense for sure was the last one that I would compare this shit to.
Hey man, I was looking at the damn screen. I'm like, why is this dude just putting my name out there? I thought he said Calvin, but he said Colvin.
Oh yeah, you thought he just dry put your government out there again.
Just put my government out there
one
again.
More time. He said, you know what? I ain't gonna put it under no context. I'm just gonna put your name.
What is y'all doing?
Hey, well, boy was gonna be like, what is going on, doctor? Mario got hurt versus Pittsburgh 2011. Yep.
Man.
But like I said, y'all, this has been a good show, man. Chopping it up with y'all.
Yeah.
We still, like I say, man, we are all in this together, man. We just trying to. It's just a beautiful thing seeing how this all comes together. Like I told y'all before, this is not a rebuild. This is by far not a rebuild. This is what you call, like I say, if you want to look at anything that's close to being similar, look at the Kansas City situation. The Kansas City, even in the times when they were winning, playing some of their best football, had O-line problems. It always seems like to have been their Achilles heel, but they always got past it. It didn't break them. You know what I'm saying? Like how it broke us last year. We had lack of effort. See, I think if all Houston fans, what you can do is look at last year as gaining some kind of degree. You might not be able to have it in paper to hang it up on your wall, but what you learned, you went through O-lineology. You know what I'm saying? Allology, if that makes any kind of sense. What you're going to see is by seeing such bad O-line play that you're going to be masters at seeing when it's good. When it's good, you're going to be like, oh my God. Like your eyes is just going to be like, oh, you ain't going to believe your eyes when you see it actually being good. And you're going to actually be able to call out what you see happening. So that's the good thing about watching that O-line last year. We've seen you absolutely have a PhD in what a terrible, effortless O-line looks like. When you see when somebody don't want to put in any kind of effort. I remember making fun of Shaq Mason saying that bro needed to get what they call that surgery when they what's the name used to talk about it all the time, man. golly, man, he still be around the team as an ambassador too. He's an old lineman. He's real cool though. Damn, he had to get the stuff moved out his elbows one time. Remember he had some elbow surgery. They were saying they was clearing out his elbows.
Wade Smith?
No, name another one. He was on the line with Wade though. If you name that whole line, you're gonna get to him. He one of the outspoken guys. Remember he went into the media.
Chester Pitts.
Chester fucking Pitts. That's who I'm talking about. Yeah. Chester Pitts had to have that surgery where he talked about by having a punch and hit guys so much he had got bone particles and stuff in his elbows and he had to have his elbows cleared out. That what the way that Shaq Mason was playing, I'm like, he playing like he got that injury where he wasn't fully extending his arms or maybe he couldn't, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. But yeah, it was atrocious, bro. Watching those guys play, it was almost sad because the one thing you can't say is that they didn't give effort. No, they gave effort. They just was getting their ass whooped. These guys was getting thrown in the full splits, bro. Like it was atrocious, man. And like I say, we finally gonna get to see what a good, real old lineman looks like. I'm just excited for the draft because, like you said, Killer, that first pick, man, it can be a fucking wide receiver. And I'm gonna be happy, or it can be that fucking cornerstone offensive lineman. Either way, I'm gonna be happy, man. But hey, I look forward to going through this with y'all and finding out, man, and coming out on the other side of it, man, and just knowing that it's gonna be all good, man. We got a good head coach, and we have a good GM, and we have a good owner, man, that's letting them guys do their thing, man. The Texans this offseason, I want to say this, I'm gonna close with this. They're doing things and spending money, bro, that's just letting me know that they ready to win. They doing things that are letting me know from a fan and standing on the journalistic side, hey, this team is trying to win. They not holding off. They not waiting till next year to extend Danielle Hunter. They like, yo, let's do this here now. Let's get this popping right now. You know what I'm saying? We know what you are. We know what you mean to Will. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God, man, it just make me so happy to just think that, you know, Will get to keep his mentor around. You know what I'm saying? He gets to keep learning from his dog. Bro, it's next year finna be crazy. I heard somebody say Will was probably working on his ankles this off season to make sure his ankles were strengthened up. Hey, I think it's gonna go down, man. I think that we're gonna see, like, just like how we was hoping that Stingley could go a whole full year and be good. We're gonna see the same thing with Will this year, though, man. And hey, I just can't wait to some good Texas football. But before we get to that, we got to get to this draft. And when we get to this draft, y'all, on the way to this draft and after this draft, man, we are gonna be right here for you as the Texans on 3 crew. And man, I appreciate all of y'all coming in. Let me give y'all a hand. Everybody that left a comment, man, let me make sure I get these last ones. Larry said JJ didn't emerge until the playoffs of 2011 season. No, you're right, because it was that 2012 where JJ just turned the hell up, bro. Like, JJ had like 20 sacks in 2012, if I'm not mistaken. Like, he turned into a complete beast. He say they're getting guys, but not handicapping themselves with 4-year deals. Oh, see, look. That's right. If there's anything that we learning from Caserio learned. See, and this is what lets me know Caserio is smart. Caserio is doing what we all know as fans, right? Now, what we know as fans, that whenever we know, like if we ever heard, hey, Aaron Foster gonna get paid next year. This is contract year, right? What did we expect from Aaron Foster? We knew he was finna run his ass off like he ain't never ran before because he running for the money. You know what I'm saying? That's what we knew. We don't care if it was a defensive end, wide receiver. Soon as that we knew that it's a contract year, you just know. I promise. And it's gonna seem like it came from out of nowhere. That players finna play like they ain't never played before, like they hair on fire. That's Caserio's whole thing, y'all. He understands that. He understands that when you put a player in a prove-it situation, guess what they're going to do? They're going to prove it. And that's what we've been getting on that defensive line. You know what I'm saying? And if you look at it, he started to sign some defensive linemen to 2 years because he knows what he's looking for now. He's got it down packed now. He knows now that I can get this guy 2 years. I know what he's gonna do.
Hey, let me ask the unofficial. I'm gonna make him the official. The Texans on 3 professor. Have Caserio signed a 4-year deal, Mr. Larry Payton? I don't think he signed a 4-year deal with anybody, have he? I could be wrong, but
no, he
I know
hasn't. I think the most he done did with somebody was 2 years. I think
3.
No,
Nico got a 3-year. Nico got a 3-year deal.
You're right. But I'm talking about like signing off the streets. Anybody who he signs
off the street.
Like if he brings somebody in free agency, the most they gonna get is like a 2-year joint.
2-year deal.
Oh,
yeah.
We could say Joe Mixon maybe because he traded Joe Mixon and then he did sign Joe to
Mixon got a 2, but the team option had the 3rd year. Mm-hmm. So he don't get caught up into that. Joe Mixon got a 3-year deal because I think that was a 3-year, $27 million deal, probably 21 guaranteed. But that 3rd year, it's an option. Mm-hmm. So after this year, we can move on from Mixon, or we could just bring him back. But I think that if he produces, I think Mixon is 28. I think if he produces and have like a Saquon Barkley type of year with this line, and CJ resurgence, being protected, and addressing that wide receiver room, that there's no reason to think that as long as he don't get
Joe should have one of his best years if that line.
Joe should have. I'm gonna put it out here, put it in the universe. I'm gonna confess it. Joe should have 1,400 yards
at the least. At the least, I can see him getting more than that. But yeah,
he was supposed to have 14 last year. He's supposed to have 14,
and he was on pace for it. And he was on pace for it. I think it was he started to see what we, but I think it may have took Joe seen it during his injury because that first week 1, that O-line was looking pretty decent, and it was the first quarter of the next game it took before Joe got hurt. I think while Joe was on that sideline, he started to see like, damn, because he ran different when he came back. Joe started to bounce a whole lot more. Because he sitting on that sideline, you see what he knew what he was dealing with. That's why I'm telling y'all, if y'all want a clear vision of what y'all think is going on with that O-line, make sure you follow Joe Mixon and just watch how he either tweaks right before a player gets signed or right after they get signed. He's going to always put something in cryptic there, and you're going to be able to tell that bro is turned up about what this line is right now. And I think Joe knows, man, that, hey, he can go 14 and even higher with this because with a bad O-line, look at what he did. And he missed 5 games. You know what I'm saying? So he stays healthy, man, it's going to be totally different, bro. Like I say, man, this is going to be fun. I can't wait to do the live game commentaries again.
Hey, but before we close this out, read with Brandon. Just, shout out to Brandon once again.
Brandon said, I think Casario's formula is 3 years with guys in their 20s, 2 years for 30-year-olds, and 1 year, 30 years old and 1 year prove-its. That is exactly perfect the way you put that, Brandon. That's what it is. And the way he signs players lets you know that he's like tapped in on some because the way GMs normally work, they kind of go with the way other GMs work in the league a little bit. It's kind of like a little cohesiveness some kind of way. But what you see, and I'm not saying it's just because Nick may be younger than a lot of, because I don't know how old Nick Caserio is, but I know that he operates like a young GM. He operates like a fresh-minded GM. He's not doing the old school shit. He's not doing the shit that, hey, I got to do this because this is what great GMs have done in the past. Like, it seems like he's an innovator. Like, he's doing shit. He's like, I've actually heard this, and I'm going to make this real fast. When the way that Caserio has put together the Texans, they said that this will be copied by other teams. And as you can see, even with the Commanders, what they've done is a little Caserio-esque. It's a little Casario-esque in a way because of the way they whole team came together. They got blessed like us, and I'm gonna tell you where they got blessed. Being able to pick the number 2 quarterback in the league and not having the number 1 pick. Because if they had the number 1 pick, I don't think they would have went with Daniels. You know what I'm saying? They probably would have been bullied into picking somebody else, just like we would have. Even though we some of us actually wanted Bryce Young, and I was one of them because I wanted that number 1 pick. It wasn't even about who the quarterback was, but I'm telling y'all, on my mama, once I saw CJ in the combine, I remember telling my partner then, I said, look, we are still going to end up getting our man anyway because CJ just looked so goddamn good in that combine that I know damn well that the Carolina Panthers is finna pick this man. So we finna get Bryce Young anyway. And come to find out, the Carolina Panthers made their mistake and went with Bryce. And I was like, y'all don't know how happy I was because I knew that the right quarterback had slipped to us. Like, I knew what CJ was going to be. And y'all can say, oh, man, no. Just go look at the man combine. They've been showing it over this last couple of weeks. The man combine was flawless. Look at the quarterbacks in the combine this year. They didn't look better than CJ. They didn't look better than CJ.
Go look at the tape against Georgia in the national championship game.
Yeah.
That's when I sold on CJ. I was like, man, this dude out here is playing against 11 pit bulls, and this dude was still swinging it, bro. Like, I mean, 1 pit bull is enough. Nigga, 11?
Yeah.
I know they call the bulldog. No, those were pit bulls. That team at Georgia had. Oh, come on, bro. Man, CJ was doing all this scrambling and pocket presence and stepping up and running and dropping dimes. I'm like, bro, it was almost reminiscent of watching Deshaun Watson lose against Alabama and had to come back the next year and beat Alabama. That it was like one of those type of performances, and I was like, man, CJ. I seen Bryce at Alabama. That was like, and CJ is 22 years old. I think, man, this dude
it's
here,
hard to crazy to even think that.
His ceiling is so freaking high, and I think Nick Casario knows that at all costs. I got to protect this guy. I mean,
you got to. We can't lose this guy. You lose this guy. If the Texans were to lose CJ, let's just say CJ got mad, or if let's say this incompetence continued, right? CJ would come to this contract. Yeah, I want out of here. I'm seeking a trade. I believe the Texans would have lost the fan base. They just went on here and had to just move the team somewhere. Forget a new stadium, forget all of that. Because when you gotta, just like what you just said, Cal, dude 22 years old. That's crazy that he's that young. You know what I'm saying? 10 years from now, he'll be 32, bro. The way he's playing, bro, might play well off into being 40 years old. So think about how long we got. We got almost 20 years of CJ. Man,
right.
that's gonna put a lot of butts in seats, and he should retire a Texan.
Let me tell you something. CJ will look at this team and look at DeMeco. The way DeMeco pretty much, like, DeMeco came in as a rookie and gave CJ that room and say, hey, I think you can be the leader of this room. Now, you got that other cancer. I don't want to put that on Bobby Slowick and call him a cancer, but you got that other problem out of the way. Now, this is CJ's offense. CJ will probably never, if he went somewhere else, he'd probably never get another defense and a defensive minded coach like DeMeco.
Never.
So Mulligetta is going to tell CJ, hey, they're going to break the bank on you. You're going to always have a top 10 defense, and you got a general manager that's going to do everything possible to make moves. That's one thing that an agent does. He looks at the way that the general manager, like, putting like pieces around his player, because that's how the agent get paid. And he's looking at the Texans like, damn, they really doing their thing. So CJ is probably like, they listen to CJ and CJ voice with him and Gerard Johnson. And we about to end the show. I know we It's been a great show. That's why I'm still rambling. But
Oh yeah,
story time, story time with Cal. Everybody out there laughing. Uh, but that's one of the things that with CJ, like he really understands the bigger picture. And as long as you got a defense that could be, they was teetering on top 10 last. I think this defense probably gonna be top 5.
oh yeah,
You
easy.
give an elite quarterback a top 5 defense. That means it's supposed to be a Super Bowl appearance.
Yeah, and look, and
I'm
I want
putting
to
it
say
out.
this.
I'm putting it out there. Yeah.
Hey, don't feel bad about claiming it because I'm telling you, and I want to say this shout out to Brandon because Brandon seen this too, just like I did. I remember when we first traded for CJ Gardner Johnson, and I said to myself, it's something. See, there's certain players. I've always noticed this when I was young, and it's not a lot of them, but there are some of these players that I don't know. I think God just deemed them to be in Super Bowls. Like, hey, you're gonna play in Super Bowls. And I think I definitely want to give shout outs to the Philadelphia Eagles for this because I really do believe spiritually they looked at this and understood the assignment. And what it was is something that Brandon just said earlier. It's about the fact that the first time when they went to the Super Bowl, they had CJ on their team. They let him walk. He went to Detroit. Detroit had one of the best seasons in their franchise's history.
Mm-hmm.
They made it to the championship game. Just by being, you know what I'm saying? Just by being with CJ being on a team. Something about CJ GJ, bro, he brings winning football to people's squads. And
That's a great point.
what happened with Philly, they went to the Super Bowl. They let him walk. He went to Detroit. Detroit went to the championship game. They didn't win. But then the next year, if you notice, Philly signed that boy CJ back and went back to the motherfucking Super Bowl, bro. Like, it's almost like gonna be so crazy that next year that CJ Gardner Johnson is gonna be in another Super Bowl, bro. And he's gonna be with the Houston Texans.
Hey, call it out. He's gonna be in the Super Bowl against Philly, and we're gonna beat Philly.
There you go, right there. Hey, I concur. I concur with you, my guy, because that's the way shit happens. That's the spiritual side of football that y'all don't know about. Sometimes situations just happen. Sometimes people is just, like I say, it's just stamped on you that, hey, you're going to play in multiple Super Bowls. It is what it is. He's one of those guys, and I'm totally with you on that, Cal. We're going to play, because Philly's going to be a good team next year. Philly's liable to make it again fucking around with Saquon. And I'm telling you, we are going to be there. So it may end up being a Philly, Houston Texans, and you know what I'm saying, we having a whoop a old Houston alumni, but it is what it is. But yeah, let's call it right now. Let's mark that down right now. Hey, Brandon say Bears in the Super Texans Bears. Hey, I'm not tripping on that one neither. I just know that the Texans are going to be there, but the Bears are going to be looking good. But I just want to say this, and I know you respect a good joke, Brandon. How in the hell did your boys turn to looking that way that he looked that fast? Y'all remember when they showed the pictures of how Obama looked when he first came into the White House and how when he left out, how he just looked like a totally different person? But this was over like 8 years, right? How in the hell is Ben Johnson took the picture for becoming the head coach of the Bears, and just a couple of weeks later when they take another picture of him, bro look like a grandpa, bro. Like, bro is already stressed out over there, bro. Like, it's crazy, man. And it's a lot of stuff being put on his plate, and I'm telling y'all, not all assistants are built to be head coaches. I'm just telling y'all, you know what I'm saying? We just happen to be lucky to have one on the defensive side of the ball. And you know what I'm saying? A lot of those, I want y'all to know too that Tomlinson and a lot of those other linemen are actually actually played for the 49ers. Why D'Amico was there. So D'Amico know these guys. They were going up against his defense, his defensive lineman. He know these guys. So it's it's not just a reach in the dark for them just looking to, hey, let's just get anybody. I think these guys are being skillfully picked. They're being smartly picked. These are not just people who just gonna listen to any whim and say, oh, PFF say that he had this, then he got to be this. Hell no. These are guys who are actually smart. Nick Caserio is really going in there doing his homework, and y'all gonna be proud, man. And like I say, y'all made us proud. We're glad that y'all tuned in with us this long. We coming up on this. And look, more people are actually coming in right now. Hold on, let me get these last two. DQ says, not Bears, I say Lions versus Texans. Either way, it's all good. But I just know that the Lions lost a lot of intricate pieces to what they had on their coaching staff. And if them boys can keep that up, more power to them. But I know that coaching staff is important. He said, I don't want to say Texans versus Vikings or no, he said, I just don't want to say Texans versus Vikings or Commanders. Hey, the Commanders, hey, they building a good squad over there, man. And like you said earlier, Brandon, though, they followed the formula to the T. They followed the formula. They got a new coach. They got a number 2. They drafted the number 2 quarterback in the draft, and signed. This is the funny part. Signing Noah Brown to a 1-year deal. Hey, that always works. That's one of those secret things. See, I'm telling you, those things. See, Noah Brown helped out CJ really on the cool to me. Than them more than any wide receiver that year. It was Noah Brown that was clowning. See, this would let me know CJ was going to be a good quarterback because you made Noah Brown look like T.O., bro. Like that just
until he got hurt,
yeah. He had him looking good out there. Formula only works that first year though. Yeah, after that you got to do something else. It's only that's the gimmick to get you. Hey, you trying to get to the playoffs, you need a 1-year turnaround where your team wasn't that good the year before, but you need a 1-year turnaround. But hey, try the Nick Caserio diet and make sure you know what I'm saying. Oh shoot, what is that? That was what's the name getting ready to come on. I'm gonna have to call this person back. But hey, man, we about to get ready to get up off of here, Cam, man. Hey, you could tell it was a good show, bro. We stayed on here a whole hour and 30 minutes.
Hey, a 2-man crew, man. We did that, man.
It's
shout out to that boy Patton.
Shout out Patton, man. Hey, if that night quill ain't on your button, you still up right now, man. Hey, you will truly miss, bro. And make sure you bring them draft facts next week because then you got extra ample time to come with it. So they definitely will be looking for all of that next week. Other than that, guys, man, this has been a great show. Shout out to everybody who was in the bull ring. I want to get y'all know I'm always try to give y'all formal shout out. So let me go down the line. You know, we got my guy Brandon. We got Patton in the building. We got Lackville 89. Shout out, homeboy. We got Big Sarge. Definitely shout out Big Sarge. We got Larry Payton. We got Corey Barrett. We got Nisha that chimed in. Who else do we got? We got DQ, man. Shout out DQ, man, most definitely. Derek Green, man. Shout you out, man. And who else we got? I think that's about it. I think that's it right there, man. Hey, y'all make the show, man, just as much as we do, man. We really appreciate seeing y'all every time, and we appreciate y'all support. Until next time, man. Up until next time, let me start this music. And we will see y'all this Tuesday coming up, man. It's the Texans on 3. Texans on 3. Hold on, man. Let me show. If my boy doing that, let me pull mine out from right here. Got that brand. Oh, my boy over there onked up. He knows some real onk stuff over there for real. Hey, but other than that though, man, y'all see what it is, man. We love y'all, and we will see y'all Tuesday, man. It's the Texans on 3. Y'all.